Ethan joining the show now. He's a candidate for mayor of Danbury, and we're joined by Roberto Alves. What's up, man?
Hey, Roberto.
What's going on, gentlemen? How are you?
Doing good. Roberto and I run into each other all the time.
Walking the streets of Danbury?
Yes, that's true. And I said goodbye to him 4 times yesterday. No, the other day. We had departed from a meeting that we were at, and then I went to the Walgreens, you see, and then I was walking to the museum, so I said goodbye to him 15 times. No idea what I
thought it was
said.
4 times.
Yeah. Roberto, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, energized. Got just a little over a month left until Election Day, so we're out here talking to as many people as we can every day, events, phone calls, canvassing. We're just out there. I mean, you see me. How many times have we run into each other? Just the other day at a football game, too, right?
That's right. It was each other at the football game, too. So I wanted to ask this because my attention is fixed squarely on the downtown area because that's where I live and that's what people do. But Danbury's 44 square miles, and probably 3 of that is the area that we talk about constantly. What if folks outside of the downtown area, when you talk to them, what is the top priority for them, things that they want you to work on?
Are you asking just downtown or throughout the city?
No, I'm saying, outside of downtown.
Outside of downtown, yeah. Understood. Listen, the first thing that that comes out, and you'll see that both camps talk about it, and we have a plan out on, is education, Lou. Yep. We have a school system that's in dire need of support. This isn't a new problem. This isn't a COVID problem. COVID exacerbated the problem. But while we have tremendous teachers and administrators who are just working their tails off, they need help. Our schools have been crowded for a long time. You go back to COVID, and one of the only school districts that couldn't go back to school 5 days a week because of space issues, right? We didn't have to be there, right? This year we have kids in kindergarten in Brookfield. That's not in Danbury. We're opening up. We got some plans that as soon as they open, we know this space won't be enough. And we have some great things going on in the future, the Career Academy, that everybody has championed, right? That's going to give us 1,400 spaces in 23, just over 1,000 for high school age kids and the remainder for middle school kids. But it's not enough. We need more space. So we hear that all the time. And education, actually, that trickles into other things, right? When you have a perception or an opportunity weekend to market our schools better online, if anybody does a simple Google search of Danbury schools, yes, we'll see the 7 schools of distinction that people like to talk about, but that's just a stat that shows improvement, right? And you got an award for that improvement. Companies are, larger corporations are attracted to places with good school districts. As soon as we put our money where our mouth is and actually invest about the schools instead of just talking about how it's somebody else's fault, we're going to attract more income into Danbury as well. So, education does have, it means so much to our school and to the future of our city that we have to hit the ground running. When we win, and as soon as we're in that office, it's going to be one of our priorities.
You say put your money where your mouth is, right? So the Republicans who have been in office for a long time have, to their credit, kept taxes low in Danbury. What do you, I'm sure they're going to be saying that you're going to raise taxes. What is your plan to get the education back where it needs to be and keep the taxes low?
Well, of course they're going to say that. That's easy to say, but, they haven't been running Danbury for the history of Danbury. Danbury's always been a great place to live, Lou. Danbury's always been rated a safe city. Danbury has always gotten on lists of places to live, Democrat or Republican leadership.
Right.
That's because both of those leaderships have always been responsible with our city's money, just like my promise is to be responsible with our city's money. We have a great team around us of people, not just with me, with the private sector experience, but with public experience, too, whose full goal is to not price anybody out of Danbury. We can do this responsibly. We have money coming in that will be allocated to our school systems and our pilot funding, which is payment in lieu of taxes. The state of Connecticut changed how those payments are calculated for districts that deserve more. And what the pilot funding is, right, that payment in lieu of taxes is areas that you don't collect property tax on that are either, the nonprofit buildings, think the state buildings, where cities like Hartford and New Haven have a real challenge when most of those cities are, state government buildings. They saw their pilot funding increase in the tunes of tens of millions. Danbury doesn't have as much of that property here, but we still got $2.5 million more that we want to allocate the majority of for schools, and that doesn't do anything to anybody's taxes. So it's easy to say we're going to raise taxes because it's a nice talking point, but that's just not the fact. And it's easy to do that when you're responding afterwards to us. You know what I love, Lou?
Right.
You guys do a tremendous service to the public. You interview candidates from the region, and it's amazing what you guys do. I know you guys joke around and don't call yourselves journalists, but the reality is you're putting stuff in print, you're putting stuff out there for people to read, you're interviewing us, and it's great. You know, I'd love to go one further, and it's nice to talk to you guys one-on-one and have my opponent listening with his team right now. Good morning, guys. And then write these things down to answer me because they speak to you after. But I welcome you. Call them right now, and we can talk live, or they can do it next week. Because
wait, you bring up a good point. Let me just stop you there because I did mention this to Ethan and never got around to it with you and with Dean. He does have an advantage in that he goes after you, and we can make that even because our goal here is to make it this opportunity for both of you as even as possible so everyone can make a decision on their own. So Dean had an advantage last week and does this week because as soon as we get off with you, we're going to go on with him and he'll be able to answer what you have to say. So we have thought about that and we will make adjustments so that everybody evens it out.
Oh, come on, guys. I never said advantage. I just said it's easier. Come on. Look, I feel like we all have the phone number. We can call them right now.
Yeah, well, we should do a debate. We talked about doing a debate. On the phone, it's a disaster because there's no visual cues to keep control over it as a radio host. So we've talked about doing an in-person thing, which is difficult with COVID and locations. But
it sounds like we're making a lot of excuses.
Let me just tell you right now, guys, I'm in.
All right.
All right, cool.
All right. He's calling a challenge out for a debate. Look at this. Ooh. So I want to keep it with that. I want to keep it short today, and I'll make note of the questions that I asked you. I'll ask the same ones to Dean. Next week, I kind of want to get into, and I really wanted to do it this week, but we don't have time. School buses are a big issue. I had some parents email me. One of them was my sister, in fact, about school buses in Danbury. So I want to talk about that, and then I want to get back down to downtown for some of the congestion issues. But we appreciate your time, as always, Roberto.
Listen, guys, thank you so much. And then real quick, when we talked about TV shows yesterday, last week, I couldn't believe I missed one. I never thought I'd like it as much as I did. But I don't know if you guys have been watching Ted Lasso.
Oh, yeah.
I hear great things.
I haven't seen it, but it just gets rave reviews.
The world needs Ted Lasso. I'll leave it at that.
That's what, on Apple? That's an Apple?
Apple TV.
Yeah.
No. Is it on Apple TV?
It is Apple.
Yeah.
It's Apple. It's one of the 900 streaming services.
Yeah.
Right, but Jon Stewart's now on Apple TV, and so now I have to subscribe.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Roberto Alves, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Roberto.
Thank you, gentlemen. Always a pleasure.
All right. Take care.